There is one meal you will find in almost every Australian pub, and once you have tried it, you will understand the country a little better.
Welcome back to Speak Local, the podcast that helps you sound like a local, wherever you are in Australia. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Simon. Today we are talking about two things that sit right at the heart of Australian weekend life: the pub and the footy.
If you have ever wondered what Australians actually do on a Saturday afternoon, this episode is for you. We'll cover the language, the culture, and one phrase you'll hear at every single sporting ground in the country.
So pour yourself a coffee, settle in, and let's go. Hey Jess, good weekend?
Really good, actually. I finally tried that pub everyone's been talking about, the one on Crown Street.
Oh yeah? How was it?
Really nice. I went with my friend Chloe on Saturday afternoon. It was one of those classic Australian pubs. Timber everywhere, sport on the TVs, really relaxed atmosphere. We got there around midday and it was already pretty busy.
Did you eat?
We did. I had the chicken parmigiana, the parma,
Obviously.
obviously, and it was genuinely one of the better ones I've had. Crumbed chicken, good quality ham, the cheese was properly melted. Not that rubbery stuff you get sometimes.
Was it a big serve?
Huge. Came with chips and salad. I could barely finish it. And the chips were proper thick cut chips, not the frozen ones.
That's the test right there.
Exactly. And the vibe of the place was just really comfortable. Everyone was watching the cricket on the big screen. There were families, a few groups of friends. It didn't feel touristy at all. It just felt like a local pub.
That's what you want.
Definitely. How about you? Wasn't there a game on?
Let's take a moment to look at a few things from that conversation. Jessica said she went to a pub, short for public house. In Australia, the pub is one of the most important social spaces. It's not just somewhere to drink. People go to pubs for meals, to watch sport, to catch up with friends, or simply to sit somewhere comfortable on a weekend afternoon. Most pubs serve full meals, and the atmosphere is generally casual and welcoming. She ordered the chicken parmigiana, often called simply the parma or the palmy, depending on where you are in Australia. This is one of the most popular pub meals in the country. It's a crumb chicken breast topped with tomato sauce, ham, and melted cheese, usually served with chips and salad. If you walk into an Australian pub and don't know what to order, the parma is always a safe choice. Notice how Simon said, obviously. Not to be rude, but in an easy, friendly way. Australians often joke with each other through understatement. When Jessica said she'd had the parma, Simon's response wasn't surprise. It was a knowing acknowledgement. That kind of light, dry humour is very common in everyday Australian conversation. Jessica also described the pub as having a good vibe, meaning the atmosphere felt right. Vibe is widely used in Australian English to describe the general feeling of a place or situation. Now let's continue the conversation.
Yeah, I went to the game. West Coast were in Sydney, played the Swans at the SCG,
How did they go?
lost by 6 points, which is frustrating because we were in front for most of the third quarter and then completely fell apart in the last.
Oh, that's rough.
It is what it is. But the experience was great, honestly. I love going to the SCG. It's a beautiful stadium, really old, really atmospheric. Good crowd.
Were there many Eagles supporters there?
A few, not many. It's Sydney, so it's mostly Swans fans. But there were enough of us to make some noise. And everyone was pretty respectful, which you appreciate.
Did you get food there too?
A pie, because you have to.
That's basically the law.
It should be. Got one at halftime, a meat pie. Stood there eating it and watching the warm up for the second half. It was perfect.
Even though they lost?
even though they lost. That's the thing about going to the game. The result matters, obviously, but the experience of being there, being part of the crowd, it's its own thing.
I get that. There's something about being in a stadium.
Completely different to watching at home. The noise, the crowd moving together when something happens, you can't replicate that.
Simon mentioned going to see the West Coast Eagles play the Sydney Swans at the SCG. Let's unpack that. AFL stands for Australian Football League. This is the most widely followed football code in Australia, particularly in Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia, and Queensland. It is uniquely Australian. The game is played on a large oval field with 18 players per side, and the scoring system uses both goals and behinds. If you're living in Australia, especially in Melbourne or Perth, you'll encounter AFL culture constantly through conversation, on television, and in the general social fabric of those cities. The West Coast Eagles are a team based in Perth, Western Australia. The Sydney Swans are based in Sydney. Simon is a West Coast supporter, what Australians call barracking for a team. You barrack for your team rather than support or cheer for, though those phrases are also understood. The SCG is the Sydney Cricket Ground, one of Australia's oldest and most loved sporting venues. It hosts both cricket and AFL and has a particular place in Australian sporting culture. Simon ate a meat pie at half time. The meat pie is arguably the most iconic Australian sporting food. You'll find them at almost every stadium, footy club, and sports ground in the country. They're small, handheld pastry pies filled with minced meat and gravy. Eating one at a game is considered almost a ritual. Notice also how Simon described the result. It is what it is. This phrase is widely used in Australian English when something disappointing has happened, but the speaker is choosing not to dwell on it. It signals acceptance without complaint, which reflects something broader about Australian conversational culture. Australians generally don't like to be seen as complaining excessively. There's a cultural value placed on taking setbacks in your stride.
Would you go back? To the pub, I mean? Or is that a different question?
Both. I'd go back to the SCG anytime. And yes, I'd definitely go back to wherever you were.
Crown Street Pub. It's worth it. And it's the kind of place where you could easily stay for 3 hours without realizing.
The best ones are like that.
Exactly. You sit down for lunch and suddenly it's 4 o'clock.
That's a Saturday well spent.
That's exactly what it is. Honestly, I think that's one of the things people don't realise about Australian pub culture until they've experienced it. It's not just about what you eat or drink. It's about having somewhere comfortable to be.
Yeah, it's social. It's part of how people connect here.
Especially on weekends. If you're new to Australia, going to a pub on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon is probably one of the easiest ways to just feel like you're part of things.
Low pressure, easy going.
Exactly. And the food is generally pretty good,
As long as you get the Parma.
as long as you get the Parma.
In that final exchange, Jessica said something worth noting. It's part of how people connect here. This is an important cultural observation. In Australian social life, shared experiences, watching sport, sharing a meal, spending time in a relaxed environment, are often more important than the event itself. Australians tend to value ease and informality in social settings. There's less emphasis on formality, on structured occasions, or on dressing up. A Saturday afternoon at the pub is considered a perfectly good way to spend time with someone you care about. If you're new to Australia or planning to live there, a few things from today's conversation are worth carrying with you. The pub is a welcoming space. You don't need to drink alcohol to enjoy it. Many people go for the food, the atmosphere, or simply to be around other people. You can walk in alone or with one other person and feel entirely comfortable. AFL is genuinely central to Australian culture in a way that can surprise newcomers. Even if you have no prior interest in the sport, knowing a little about it, the teams, the basic rules, what barracking means, will help you connect with many Australians. And finally, notice the rhythm of today's conversation. Neither Jessica nor Simon was trying to impress the other. The language was direct, warm, and unforced. Sentences were relatively short. There was humour, but it was quiet and easy. That rhythm, relaxed, confident, unhurried, is very characteristic of everyday Australian English at its best.
So tell us, what does your weekend look like?
We really want to know.
Do you go to the pub on a Saturday?
Do you watch the footy with friends?
Or is it something completely different where you live?
Tell us in the comments below.
And if you like this episode, please subscribe.
We are regularly releasing new episodes.
Until next time, keep learning, keep listening, and keep speaking.
And remember to get the Palmer.
Ha, nice one. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.
You've been listening to Speak Local, real conversations, real Australian English for learners everywhere. Speak with us, learn with us. We'll see you next time.